magnolia blossom, and I carried it carefully in my sweating hands, not yet understanding by the time I got home the petals would no longer be white, but darkening everywhere they'd been touched. This next one's called In the Film. A woman tells her therapist she hears rabbits live their whole lives without a noise until killed, then scream, and sound almost human. There is no music, only the clatter of her speech, which ricochets through my head while something lodges in my throat, sharp as a stone shot from the heart sling. Inside the theater, my breath quickens. I am sliding backward, trying to climb a barbed wire fence when I was 10. Tangled up, I wanted to yell for help. I'd been playing war with the boy and winning, until I launched a rock so high I couldn't tell where it would land. It seemed to get lost in the sun, to become the sun for a moment, then fall, striking his skull. A line of red divided his face. I ran, never saw him again. The woman in the movie falls in love, but still feels trapped. I know because one night she makes love in the choir loft of an abandoned church. The roof seems as though it is peeled open, and the camera closes in so I can look down on her. It begins to rain, and when she comes, the noise she makes, breathing heavily into the man's hair, which is long and sways like a curtain, back and forth across his face, sounds like singing. So this next poem is called Night Around Me, and it references, I don't know why I wrote this poem, but I think one of the first things is that in LA for a time there were all of these lesbian bars, and they had the greatest names, and I just felt like they needed to be put into poems. So there's a list of the names of some of these bars, and all of them are no longer. And so I don't know. I feel sort of retrospectively glad that I did that, because at the time I wrote this, I didn't realize that bars would no longer exist. But I feel like it's kind of this archiving of a certain moment in the kind of queer history of LA, which again feels like coincides with the memory of Stonewall in a way. So this is called Night Around Me. In a parking lot in LA, ice cream trucks sleep with their nursery rhymes turned silent near houses whose barred windows guard those asleep inside. Nearby, dyke clubs open, the pink box, milk, and from the meow mix, music seeps, spills out into the street, and the smog feels lower because of the city's light pollution. I take it through my mouth and skin. Inside, spotlights glint off glasses of beer, and I'm drowsing in the haze and buzz of electric guitars held by girls with short-cropped hair and tiny bow ties. Between songs, the clink of pull cues against balls pulses as metronomes, and all sounds move deeper in through my chest and arms, thighs, and groin. Later, between those parked trucks, easy as breath, my girl knows I can see myself inside her eyes, where she watches me, and I become silhouetted and small, simple as the shadow of a tear, a burnt-out matchstick, candlewick, thorn, a thorn I feel bite into my lip when she kisses me with her teeth, and her eyes close around me. This next poem is called A Wave. Her hand on my back, a warped record turning silently under the needle, beneath pressure, patience. Our milky shadow shaped like a door, the click of the key in the lock, turning again and again. Then the body of the bird against the glass, a single feather that fluttered, there, after. We remember music, trumpets once golden, birds siphoning secrets from the lungs of men. I say try, tuck your breath under its wing. Only the stiff black branch of night and clouds held up by a draft. I swear I hear roots burrow into frozen earth, the sound of ice cracking. What will grow here? Come to bed now. Sleep, I say. I am wilting. From outside, I feel as if a great wave is rushing toward us. It arrives and breaks over us, soft confetti. Mirror. The violin, a nest, catching fire. Each string melts. The instrument's wood, an amber pool. My pulse flares, white. The heart must be, light shot up, casting its net over everything. The glint on the gold of a childhood trophy. The featureless man propels himself forward, feet sealed to the pedestal. The moon and the lake I am able to touch or nearly. The crescent, a pale fish, a silk fan dropped into black. My arm, half gone, blurs the picture. The waves, soft and small, a moth's wings flutter, a powder against my face. I smear each star with a finger, and the feeling is rain. This next poem is called 6. The neck of the guitar stretches out, every other fret painted with a sharp dot or dash, flash after flash of reflected light, marble or pearl, the shape of a fingerprint, the measure of each note trapped inside the instrument's dark. Outside, a hailstorm, and the sound of crumpled up grade school exams once smacking against my skull. Paper fists thrown angry in torrents, and 6-year-old laughter that fell all around me as I sat inside a classroom in a warm pool of my own urine. I'd been ashamed to go to the girls' room at recess because I was a boy, they'd said. But the recess lady made me stay away from the boys' room. You are a girl. And later, my teacher, no hall pass for the rest of the year. So my body couldn't stop secreting in class. Even my eyes and nose seeped with the stuff. Out of control, I heaved sobs between sharply phrased taunts of what are you? But tonight,